Tribal royalty, you are invited to stand behind the seated individuals in proclamation. Tribal royalty.
Aho, Nikashiga Amashe, we don't make it Unani. Hello, it's good to see all of you. My name is Chris Littlegood. I'm a member of the Ponca Nation. I'm also today's MC. It's my pleasure today to introduce Kelly Mosteller, the Executive Director of First American Museum.
Bonjour. Today, we have all gathered here today to honor the beauty, strength, resilience, and living presence of the 39 tribes in Oklahoma today. This land carries their stories that have shaped who we are, that talk about our resilience and talk about our beautiful, beautiful cultures. We really want to talk about what we do here at FAM is that we're part of a living mission of this museum. And that comes through in our programs, our partnerships, and the people who make these stories come alive every single day. Events like today remind us that FAM is more than a museum. It's a gathering place for learning, connection, and community. We want to give special thanks to the Quapaw Nation. With their collaboration, we created the beautiful, exclusive Indigenous Peoples Day t-shirts that you see some people wearing today, and it's for sale in the fan gift shop if you would like to take one home. They have also shared their culture with us this morning through an exhibition of their Indian football game, and that will happen again at 2 p.m. So we pledge to everyone from the Quapaw Nation who helped us in this way. Indigenous People Day celebrates not only the endurance of our nations, but also the relationships that make them possible. So we want to first thank Mayor Coles, our tribal leaders and state and local representatives who are here today, as well as our community allies and our royalty for joining us. Thank you for all being part of this day. I will now turn it over to Mayor Coles for the official proclamation.
No other program? Okay, all right. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you to everyone who makes this possible. This is our 8th annual Indigenous Peoples Day in Oklahoma City. And we first started as a relatively small but mighty ceremony at Oklahoma City University 8 years ago. And it is a great event. But to see what it has grown into is really amazing. And that happened pretty rapidly after First Americans Museum opened. And, you know, as we celebrated a few weeks ago, in some ways First American Museum is finally finished with the completion of what do we actually call Family Discovery Center, what everyone else will call like the Kid Zone, you know. So I hope you will definitely take your kids and maybe children of all ages, I think will enjoy the new Family Discovery Center. So don't miss out on that. And of course, since I guess we last gathered here, we also had the opening of O'Connor. This really is becoming a district now. They have dubbed it the Horizons District. And that is the foundation and the infrastructure in place that I think really positions Oklahoma City as a national capital for Native and Indigenous people. And however, having said that, it wouldn't be much of a national capital for Native and Indigenous people if we didn't have Indigenous Peoples Day. And so it is so exciting that once again we are coming together to officially celebrate that. Now, normally the mayor gets blamed for the weather, so I'll go ahead and apologize for that. I wore my rain boots in case we were doing this outside. But it doesn't seem like it has dampened the numbers or the enthusiasm. I think this will be yet another memorable one. Maybe we'll remember it even more because of the rain. But everybody has still come out, and there are a whole day of activities. And that's what I think separates our Indigenous Peoples Day from others around the country, and why I'm just going to go ahead and say this is the best Indigenous Peoples Day in America. Because, nobody else has First Americans Museum. Nobody else has the 39 tribes. Nobody else has this amazing energy. And of course, it starts with a lot of people that you see up here. I always feel like I should especially introduce Sarah Adams, who really got this started with me 8 years ago, and still is the one who stays on top of it. I know I'm going to get an email from her in like August saying, okay, time to draft the next proclamation. So she's got the calendar set, and I appreciate her for that, as well as all the people who work with her. Okay, with no further ado, I think it's time for me to read this proclamation and officially proclaim Indigenous Peoples Day. Whereas the first inhabitants of what is now known as Oklahoma City were Indigenous people who knew this as their homeland. And whereas the 136-year history of Oklahoma City is rich but overshadowed by the many centuries of Indigenous history that preceded it. And whereas what is now known as the state of Oklahoma ultimately became the home of 39 federally recognized nations and other Indigenous peoples. And whereas modern Oklahoma City is the political, economic, and cultural capital of this state that includes significant Indigenous heritage. And whereas Indigenous people are strong contributors to modern Oklahoma City, and our city many contributions made to our community by the knowledge, labor, technology, science, philosophy, arts, and culture of Indigenous people. And whereas Oklahoma City is home of the First Americans Museum, the annual Sovereignty Symposium, and Rhetoric. And whereas
Will be owner of a
Probably
gray
important to know.
Subaru Crosstrek, please.
Don't leave your red licorice here.
And will be owner of a black Ford Escape. Please repark your cars home.
Nothing stands in the way of Indigenous people saying, unless you park to the handicap zone. Okay, moving on. Whereas the opening of the First American Museum in 2021 in America's 20th largest city and the capital city of the state with 39 nations signifies Oklahoma City's emergence as a world capital for Indigenous people. And whereas the Oklahoma City community is dedicated to opposing racism, supports equitable access and opportunity for Indigenous people to achieve a high quality of life, employment, education, income, and health care, supports deeper respect for tribal sovereignty and family preservation, supports a higher awareness of the challenges facing Indigenous people, and supports policy to address social crises like missing and murdered Indigenous relatives. Now, therefore, I, David Holt, Mayor of the City of Oklahoma City, do hereby proclaim October 13th, 2025 as Indigenous Peoples' Day in Oklahoma City. And I do encourage our residents to recognize this day by celebrating the history, contributions, values, and thriving culture of Indigenous people. Thank you so much for coming out today. I wish for all of you a happy Indigenous Peoples' Day. Please stick around for all of the great festivities for the rest of the day. And I know Kelly has a few more words, perhaps more program, who knows? But back to you, Kelly.
Actually, Mayor, if you could stay up here. We would like to acknowledge that, as Mayor Cole just said, we have the greatest Indigenous Peoples' Day in the country, but that's possible only because of the support of you in your office and the fact that you have year after year dedicated your office to recognizing this day, coming out, being part of this celebration. So we would like to honor you with a Pendleton that has been monogrammed with the brand new FAM Indigenous Peoples' Day logo.
Awesome.
We are so proud of the work that you do for the Indigenous communities here in Oklahoma City, and we are really proud to be able to share this with you today.
Thank you so much. All right, did Russ tell you how to do this?
Yes. We did all the checking protocol.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that concludes our official programming. So if you would like to mingle about, I think we're going to have Paw Indian football, and there's food and other things to do. So we wish.
Great job. Thank you. Thank you for coming up.
Always happy to support. Best day.
Best day. Are you coming up for 2 weeks for the
Yes,
fourth?
I'll be here. Excited.
Molly Jarvis will be joining us for her first interview.
Great, I'm excited. That's a good thing. I saw,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
loud today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me know.
Up and you know, side to side.
Oh, excellent.